Blackstone presents The Notebooks of Malte Laurids Brigge, a novel by Maria Rilke, translated with an introduction and notes by Edward Snow. This book is read by Simon Vance. Translator's Introduction. St. Vitus. Maria Rilke completed The Notebooks of Malte Laurids Brigge, Die Aufzeichnungen des Malte Laurids Brigge, in the winter of 1910, a full 6 years after he had begun work on the book. It would be the only novel-length piece of prose fiction he ever wrote. The book ends, oddly but beautifully, with an unnamed I retelling the story of the prodigal son. Toward the end of this retelling, which slips into the third person immediately, a long extended simile describes a period of great changes in the protagonist's life. He was like someone who hears a magnificent language and feverishly resolves to write in it. Still ahead was the dismay of learning how difficult this language was. At first he refused to believe that a long life could be spent constructing those first short practice sentences that meant nothing at all. He threw himself into this schooling like a runner into a race, but the density of what had to be mastered slowed his pace. It was impossible to imagine anything more humbling than this apprenticeship. He had found the philosopher's stone, and now he was being compelled to transmute ceaselessly the quick gold of his inspiration into the dull lead of patience. He who had adapted himself to infinite space now burrowed like a worm through long, winding passages without exit or direction. Now, as he learned to love so laboriously and with such pain, he was forced to understand how all the previous love he thought he had achieved was peremptory and trivial, how nothing could have come of it, since he had not begun to work upon it and translate it into something real. I can't help but hear in this passage an oblique but very deliberate comment on the language of Malte Laurids itself, and how hard Rilke had to work, against himself as it were, to achieve it. Both during and after its composition, he characterized it as my most difficult work. He spoke in retrospect to his French translator of the dense weave of this prose which was completely new to me. Of the several contradictory things he said about the book on the verge of its completion, his remark in a letter to Sidonia von Borodin stands out. It is my hardest and most cherished work, a true alchemy of suffering.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?